In this episode of Automower Answers, we're going to take a look at the Husqvarna 115H Automower. Here we have a Husqvarna 115H Automower. This is the box it comes in here. Sometimes these will arrive to a dealer with another cardboard box over top of it, but this is the main box here, and we'll show you what's included with one of these. Inside here you have, of course, your low voltage cable and your screws to hold the charging station down to the ground, and your wire connectors. And there's also a spare set of the standard mower blades in there. This is your manuals, all your paperwork right here. Your user manual, your warranty stuff is in there. Then we have some staples. Now, this is just the beginning of the staples, because underneath this piece of cardboard here, pull this out, this is a whole bunch of staples here. I think it's about 8 bags of staples, 100 staples per bag, because this machine comes with installation included. This is your installation. You get your staples underneath the mower. We'll show you there's some wire there. But back to the contents of this box. Here you have your power supply in this white box, and this is the top part of the charging station where the mower plugs into it at. Then under here we have the mower. Put that up out of there. Underneath the mower, that is where we have our wire at. Again, installation included with this. So here you have a 200 meter spool wire, and this one's a 250 meter spool wire. 450 meters of wire total. Underneath that is the plate for your charging station. So that is what's in the box and what's included with one of these machines. As we told you, the charging station for the 115H comes in 2 pieces. You have your base plate here, which has nothing going through it, unlike the ones on the other models that have the antenna wire going through there. Everything on the 115H is located right here in this tower. You have your charging connections right here, your plates, and inside here you have your antenna. On the back you have all your connections to plug everything in, and this is just going to snap down in. You're going to slide it front so that this latches in, and then push down, and these tabs right here will clip into these slots on the back here. So it's just a matter of push that in, sit it down, latch it in. There you go. Then everything on this is exposed in the back like we showed you. There's nothing here to flip down or anything to get to any of the wires like you would find on the 300 series or 400 series. Now on the bottom of this, you'll find notches here, and a channel, I should say, that runs through the center of this with little clips. It's very important that when you run your guide wire, you have it centered under here to lead the mower into the charging station. So you're going to run your wire right through this channel here, and it's going to clip right in the middle. They put that in there, so it's kind of tough to mess it up. So real simple to do when you're installing this. You know, you have your wire laying there. You're going to run up through here. It's going to come out through this end right here, and then attach to the back side. As you can see here, you got your your tabs there that we showed you, and that's where your wire is going to hook in at. So that's the LED in the 115H charging station flashes blue when there's a problem with the boundary wire, meaning it's broken or not enough power going through it, just like on the 300 and 400 series of Automowers. But the charging station will also flash yellow. This indicates that you have a problem with your guide wire, meaning either your guide wire is not connected to the boundary wire, your guide wire is broken, or your guide wire simply is just not hooked up to the charging station. Then, of course, you have your solid green light, meaning that everything is good to go with your boundary wire and your guide wire. This is the 115H Automower here. You can see it's a bit different than all the other mowers that Husqvarna makes right now, as far as the Automower lineup. This one actually runs backwards compared to them. This will be driving around the yard mowing with the big wheels here in the front, and the caster wheels will be in the back. And this is it going forward right here. It's cutting, and then when it comes into the charging station, it will drive up like this to the charging station, and then it will spin around and it will back into the charging station, because the port for the charging station is in the back of the mower right here. So it's kind of a weird setup. Might throw you off a bit at first, but you know, you'll get used to it. It does the job. Now, another big difference here is the stop button. You hit this, it stops the mower. That's it. See, there's no flap coming up, you know, nothing opening up there, nothing else happening except the mower will be stopping. The control panel is inside here, but all you have to do to open it is just lift it up. You know, they kind of streamlined this, dumbed it down a little bit, you know, however you want to say it. Just simplified it. Cut the cost down on this. They took out all those extra parts that you don't really need to make this thing do a nice job on your lawn. So inside here you got your manual dial like you would find on your X300, or sorry, your X315, your 310, your regular 315, your whole 300 series of Automowers have the manual height adjustment. Another big difference with this between all the other models out there is there's no switch underneath to turn this thing on and off, the main power. It's right here. So you push that and it's going to power on. And you can see you're not going to have a number pad there or any of that stuff. And you just go through and you're going to set one of these things up. Pick your language, country, set your time. Oh, sorry, this is your date. Set your date. Then you're going to set your time and take a rough guess about what your actual lawn mowing area is, and just hit OK there. Daily schedule, we're not really going to want that, so we're just going to skip over that for now. Then you're going to have to enter a new PIN code. Before, when you would get an Automower, you would have to have the dealer retrieve the PIN code for you. Now, you just make one up. And it's pretty simple. All you do is come up with the number you want to use, 4 digits, whatever that is, and you just use the arrow buttons to change your numbers, and you can go up and down. And once you make up that PIN code, we'll just say 2, move over to the next one, 2. You can either hit OK or the over arrow to go to the next one. So we'll just make that one all 2s, and then you just got to verify it. And that's it. That's your new PIN code. You're the only one that knows it because you just made it up. It wasn't retrieved from Husqvarna. You know, there's nothing to fall back on there. That's you, and you alone have that information. So your dealer's not going to have access to that unless you tell them. Husqvarna's not going to have access to that unless you tell them what it was. Then you just hit OK. Going to ask you to put it in the charging station, and we'll do that here in a little bit. But you can see this is pretty slimmed down. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on in here like on the other ones. Your screen is very small. Again, no number pad on there, and you have your start button right here. So it cut down on the cost, and that's why you can buy one of these things for the price you can buy it at. You got just limited features on it, but again, it's still going to do the job. This thing is supposed to cut the yard, and that's what it's going to do. You know, you don't have to have all the bells and whistles to get that job done. So you can see that this screen is just like your other mowers. When you have it in a charging station, you get the message saying it's charging. You see the date and the time. You don't have all the other stuff down there for like your GPS and your signal from your Automower Connect board and those kind of things. But, you know, again, got to keep it basic here. So you can go into your menu, and you have this over here. This one with the clock, of course, is your schedule, as it says there. Then in your settings, it's a lot of the same stuff as on all the other models. You got your security, where you can go in and you can make your changes to what it does when it's picked up, or you know, what kind of alerts it sets off if somebody picks it up or if it's tipped over, those kind of things. Lawn coverage the same way. You know, you can set up your different areas there, your different zones if you want. Installation, you got your drive past your wire, the mower house, the eco mode, connected home. Now that is where it allows you to connect to your iPhone, your Android, your tablet, whatever smart device you've got through Bluetooth. So that's a pretty cool thing. It's a lot like the Automower Connect on the 400 series, and, well, we should say on the X series line. But instead of doing it through Wi-Fi, it does it through Bluetooth. So as long as you're within, you know, a line of sight of the mower, you're going to be able to connect to it, and you can change different settings and get your alerts for your mower when something happens to it right to your smart device through Bluetooth. And that's basically it for it. And then down here in general, we have the same stuff as on all the other models, you know, your date, time, country, all that stuff that you can reset. And that's it. You know, like we said, they just kind of simplified this. You know, took some of the features that you don't really use out of it. You know, you're not going to find slope control on this. You're not going to find, well, you do have spot cutting on here, but you're not going to find, like, you know, spiral cutting and changing the intensity for spiral cutting and things like that. You know, it's all pretty simple. And you can see, like, all the important stuff from the other models they've kept on here. Now, we were going through the menu and all the options there in the settings. A bunch of you were probably wondering, well, you didn't show us this mode button here. What's it do? Simple. This is the same screen you get on your 300 and 400 series mowers. You know, you got your main area, your second area, park schedule, and override the schedule, spot cutting, and that's it. You pick which one, which almost always you're going to be going with main area. You hit OK, you hit start, the thing goes out to mow. Second area is if there is no possible way for this mower to get there on its own, and you have to pick it up and physically place it in that area, then you will pick second area, and you can pick how long you want it to mow for, you know, whether it's a certain amount of time that it gives you the option for there, or just till the battery's dead. So that's what second area is. It's not zones like a lot of people get it confused with. You know, if you're not sure about zones and second areas, we've got a video about that shows you what zones are and how that works, and you can take a look at it. That might help you understand that a little bit better. But again, just the basic stuff that you would find on the other mowers, just simplified, and just the minimum stuff it needs to do the job. So where does the 115H fit into Husqvarna's lineup? Well, it's right there with the 300 series in the fact that it's lower in cost. It can handle, you know, in that quarter to a half an acre area, and single guide wire, comes with the Bluetooth connectivity. On the 300 series, you could upgrade them to use the Wi-Fi connectability. You cannot do that with the 115H, but what you gain with the 115H is this is a high cut model. So the 300 series, they are all low cuts. The 310, 315, 315X, all low cuts. There is no way to change them into a high cut. So if you're looking for a high cut to cover that small area, you know, a quarter to close to a half an acre, and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, you don't want to go with the 400 series, then the 115H is probably going to be your best bet. So here's an idea of where everything stands in the whole lineup. You have your 115H on the end there. That's your lower priced Automower, missing a few of the bells and whistles and the extra features there. Does the job, like we said. It's good for, your eighth of an acre up to almost a half an acre, as long as it's pretty flat and doesn't have a whole lot of things to maneuver around. Good solid unit. You jump up to the 300 series if you want a few more features on there. You want the ability to go from Bluetooth Connect to Wi-Fi connectability. You can get that with the 300 series, but the 115H is a high cut, like we said. The 300 series are low cuts only. And with the 315X, you get the headlights, you get the Automower Connect already installed in it, just like you would get with the 400 and 500 series, which is on the end here. So you jump up to the 400 series, and then you're able to mow a larger area in a shorter amount of time, and you get pretty much all the best features right out of the box on these units. So again, 115H, good solid mower. It does the job. You're just taking away some of that technology you might not use, or some of those features that you wouldn't really use, or you just don't really need. This is a simple mower. It's been simplified to get the price down on it. Simple yet effective. So here's some important information and numbers and things like that to remember about the 115H. The Bluetooth connectivity. It's not Wi-Fi. You can't just do it from anywhere, but you can at least connect it to your smart devices through Bluetooth. So when you're at home or nearby, you can get the messages, or change a few of the settings on it. It is a high cut model, so if you're one of the people that has to cut your grass at 4 inches, you're going to get close to it here. You're going to be just slightly over 3.5 inches as your maximum cutting height. It does have an alarm. We showed you the PIN code. It's quiet, it's weatherproof, a lot of the same stuff as on the other mowers, but one big difference is this one is hose washable. The other ones, they will tell you just to wipe them down. This one here, you can actually take a garden hose and you can rinse it off. Now, it does not mean stick your thumb over the end of the hose to pressurize it or put a spray nozzle on there or anything like that, but you can just take a hose and you can just rinse the thing off to clean it up. So overall, the 115H is a solid little robotic lawnmower, and the biggest thing here to remember is what it's capable of doing. You can't go out and purchase one of these automowers and expect it to do an acre or even 3/4 of an acre. It's not going to do it. It's not rated to do it. It's not made to do it. Keep that in mind when you're shopping. Always buy for the job that you're trying to do and not buying by just the price. All right, that's going to wrap up our look at the 115H Automower here. As always, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, be sure to do so. And if you got any questions, leave some comments below. If you have one of these machines already installed in your yard, again, leave some comments. Give some feedback on it, what you like, what you don't like, things of that nature. So, all right, thanks for watching, and keep checking back. Talk to you later.